Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Lauren Cohn here again, and I just wanted to share a right hand technique that I will use from time to time that I think could really help some of you if you haven't thought about this. Oftentimes I will play with my first and third fingers. Now I know this looks weird for me to do this, but on my hand, my first and my third fingers are basically the same length, all right? And that seems to make a lot of sense for our right hand pizzicato technique. My first two fingers, second finger is longer, right? And that's generally the case with a lot of people. Now, each of our fingers on our right hand has its own timbre, right? The second finger, I'm not going to point at you, or I'm not going to give you the bird. Our second finger generally tends to give us a more of a trebly attack, right? Gives us a lot of attack, but it's a little more trebly, a little more high end. First finger generally is a nice balance of being a little warmer sound. I find for me, the third finger is actually very warm, very round sounding, fatter sounding. So when I am playing the 5-string especially, and when I use floating thumb technique, I will use a lot of times my first and my third finger. This technique, floating thumb, drop my hand down, right? And I'm just focusing on first and third finger. So I'm going to play a C major scale in 2 octaves. I'm going to play first, traditionally, just with first and second finger on my right hand, not using the floating thumb. Then I'm going to use this floating thumb technique with first and third. First, just normal. Okay, now floating thumb, first and third fingers. It's a real subtle difference. I oftentimes, especially on the 5-string, feel better playing that second way. Floating thumb, first and third finger. Now at the beginning of the video, I was playing a walking bass line. I think this is a great way to play walking bass lines on the bass because I feel like this third finger gives a warmer sound. And this is a new sort of sound that you can use if you're playing walking bass lines on the bass guitar. So again, if I'm doing that, with those little skips where it works really nicely. It's much more even in terms of the time and the sound. Now, one thing I'll notice that sometimes I'm doing, I will just play third finger, just third finger. Okay, check that out. All right, so a lot of possibilities here, a lot of things to explore. If you get nothing else out of this video, I hope you just walk away with this idea of starting to think about the sounds, the timbre that each of your fingers on your right hand gives you, and start exploring that. Find your own system, find your own way of playing with your right hand that maybe combines one of these approaches, two of these approaches, all these approaches. Like I said, start developing a 3-finger technique, okay? Hey, and you know what? Comment below what bass players out there, what bass guitar players, I'm sure there are many that I'm not even really thinking about, what bass guitar players are playing 3 fingers on the right hand, right? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much, everybody, for checking out this lesson. If you want to learn more about bass guitar technique, if you want to learn more about maybe something that is killing your bass guitar technique, click here.